Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of the Setlist of Life with the current bandmates of Dolly for Sue. Tonight we have with us Aaron on guitar.
Hello. Hello.
Kirsten on the keyboard.
Hello.
And I'm Leslie, your vocalist for this evening. We almost had Cowbell Chris.
We did?
We did.
Seriously?
We
Oh
almost
my
had
gosh.
Cowbell Chris tonight, but he dumped us for the Frozen Four, which is the
Frozen Four?
The Frozen Four. It's the college hockey playoffs.
Oh,
Okay.
And
I
Penn-
did not know that was what that was called.
Yeah, and Penn State's in the Frozen Four,
Oh.
and the game is tonight.
Okay, well, that's kind of a big
Priorities,
deal.
I mean.
Yeah, exactly. He said us or them, and he went, oh, definitely them.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
I
all
was
right.
this close. I almost had him, though.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
all right.
maybe next time.
Name me next time. Yeah.
We're not.
So, okay.
But our song for this evening is Roam by the B-52s.
Yay.
Because we're all kind of going to be roaming over the next. Well,
Yes.
Christine's already started roaming.
She
She
has.
started roaming.
She's not
then,
here.
And then she's going to do some more roaming this weekend. And you're going away.
I'm roaming.
Kirsten. Where are you
Yeah.
going to again?
I am going. This is a weird trip.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
going to Milan
What?
and Budapest.
Budapest.
It's shush. 'Cause
Shush.
Not with a T. 'Cause
I learned that from Bugs Bunny,
You did?
how to pronounce Budapest.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay.
Yeah, because they say, come with me to the Casbah. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
And he also says that one something about Budapest.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway.
And also London.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is quite the European tour.
I know.
I'm rather jealous.
I know. And we're going to
know.
stay with some long last relatives
Really?
in Hungary.
Even more interesting.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're going to have some stories when you get back.
I know, right? So
Don't get engaged.
I'll try not to.
I'm just saying it happens.
That's
Yeah,
right.
right,
It
right,
happens.
right. I mean,
When in
Rome.
Budapest.
When in Budapest.
You never know.
More likely in Italy. That's
Yeah.
where that kind of thing really happens.
You get some goulash.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some goulash. I don't know.
Nice.
I don't know what else they eat.
Me neither.
So I had a dental hygienist the other day, and she was from Ukraine. And I don't know, we were just talking about all kinds of stuff, and we were talking about the food, and I was like, oh, because she's like, yeah, I don't really like Ukrainian food that much. And I was like, well, what do you, she's like, well, there's like pierogi, it's like pierogies. She's like,
it's Polish kind
yeah,
of, right?
and,
Lots of cabbage.
lots of she said lots of like beets and lots of sour cream, but she's a lot of pickled stuff.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah. Anyway, her her boyfriend is Swedish. And I'm like, oh, they've got the pickled stuff.
Yeah.
The pickled herring. I'm like, my family is Swedish and I'm not a picky eater, but I'm saying that pickled herring is some nasty stuff.
Yeah. Well, they have, there's a soup my mom used to make that she put chopped pickles in it.
Pickle soup?
It wasn't pickle, like it was like a beef soup.
Was that good?
As a kid, I'm going to say it probably is, but
as
I
a
only
kid-
remember it as a kid.
Right,
And
and
like
you're like,
having
I'm
a
not eating
soup with
that.
pickles in it. It was like, no way.
No thanks
no
on
way.
the pickle soup.
No.
Yeah. So, I mean, I had to, the days were different then. You ate
Yes,
what was
you
put in
ate,
front of you. I
yes.
ate it.
I ate all kinds of, yeah.
But I'm
no.
sure I didn't enjoy it. But, I bet you it's delicious.
But you don't have fond memories
I
of the
don't
pickle
have
soup.
fond memories of the pickles in my
I
soup.
don't have fond memories of the pickled herring.
No.
No.
But
But anyway, yeah, I think, so I'm hoping because, my youngest is 16, that there's not too much pickled.
Oh, right. He
Yeah.
might be hungry.
Yeah. Or like
McDonald's.
lots of cabbage, Yeah. So, but, we like goulash and I'm sure anyway, but
I'm sure there'll be plenty of things to eat.
but yeah, we're visiting cousin Ava.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not my cousin, it's my husband's long, distant second.
Has he ever met her?
No.
So, and you guys just called her up and said, hey, we're swinging by.
Well, no, so Kevin's been messaging her back and forth. Like this woman found his dad and his aunt many, many years ago and figured out who their common ancestor is. Cause they're, she's like, hey, are you a descendant of.
Right.
Her name's Ava. Apparently, they're all Avas, and
Apparently they're all Avas.
which is a good name.
It was popular there before it was popular here.
Right. I think it's still one of like the, one of the names. But anyway, they've been in communication with this woman for many years, and we were going to Milan for a soccer game, and Kevin looked and he's like, that's only like an hour, cheap hour flight from Budapest. And he's like, we should go. And so he sent Ava a message says, hey, we're going to be in Budapest. And she's like, well, you must stay with us. And we're like, well, we wanted to stay in the city. Like they were like an hour out of the city, and it's on a lake, Lake Balaton, which is supposed to be one of the larger lakes in Europe.
And clearly she speaks English.
Yeah, her English seems really, it's, it's mostly written. I haven't talked to her.
Right.
But
I would think writing it's harder than speaking it. I'm
maybe, I don't
just
know.
from learning. Well, that could just be my brain too. Any language I've tried, I can
then you have
speak
to
it
spell.
much sooner than I can write it. Yeah.
Right, because you have to say it and spell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so we're staying for 2 nights with some total strangers.
That should be good.
Wow.
This will be good.
And we're going to meet Granny. She's like, Granny's really excited that you're coming.
Oh, wow.
Oh, see, I always have these images is she gonna be like this little old woman in black with like a face like an angry fist kind of
and a babushka.
Right. Yeah.
And a babushka.
and a babushka.
Yes.
or she's probably like
she's
not like
shaking her
that at all,
fist.
but
Right.
that's what I'm picturing.
Right. Yeah. No, that's what I'm kind of hoping. I'm hoping it's like, right. Like, if we're going to do this,
Yeah.
right. Like,
Yeah,
I have, but I don't know what to expect. So
That's good.
Wow, that's very exciting. That's like, and that's totally my kind of vacation where I just sign up for stuff and have no clue what's going to happen.
I like it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes it exciting.
No
So, I mean, it could be, but like my dad's favorite, he'd always say, go big or go home. So,
There you go.
so this could be like either the best vacation
Or the worst. Well,
could be but so we let my son choose. Like he's really into soccer, and my husband and I, we just want to see the world.
right.
We don't really, it doesn't have to be any particular order. So we let him, we looked at all the soccer games in Europe, one at the beginning of spring break and one at the end, and we let him choose. We're really, give us your top 3. And if we don't like those or it's too expensive, give us your next.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he chose Milan, and it was supposed to be Tottenham in the UK, in London.
Right.
But, and Kevin's college friend is actually going to be at that Tottenham game.
Oh, gotcha.
So we were going to see him and his wife. I'm like, that's pretty cool. And he lives in Houston. Like,
Oh,
so
you go all the way halfway across the world to see your friends.
Right. And they're our cousins. And, but sometimes they switch their games around, and they moved the Tottenham game to the day after we leave. Which, my son's supposed to be in school. So
yeah,
we're going to another, we just chose a game in London that weekend because we had already booked our, they just changed the game like a few weeks ago. But we're going to a Crystal Palace game.
Ooh.
Which I think sounds like a stripper. Does it sound like a stripper name?
Well,
Crystal Palace?
Yeah.
Anyway, I can't get over it, but but apparently it's the name of a soccer team, which I would have never guessed in a million
I'll be
years. So
interested to see what their uniforms look
I
like.
know, but I'm going to get a Crystal Palace.
Just pasties and some
sweatshirt.
shorts.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Why not?
why not? It would attract a crowd. I
Right,
mean, if they're having
exactly.
issues selling tickets,
Yeah.
that's all I'm
This is true.
saying.
This is true.
Yes, the marketing department should get right on that.
I so should have been in marketing.
I
Should have been in
know.
marketing.
Yes. So anyway, that is
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yes, I'm looking forward to. So we leave tomorrow,
Nice.
but I've been cleaning and packing and doing all the things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I always have to clean. Like if something happens to us, I don't. Well, actually, they are going to come to our house and like okay, these people are obviously hoarders from my basement, but like the rest of the house looks
The rest of the
okay
house is great.
now. Yeah, but yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to Miami
Ooh, welcome to Miami.
for the same reason you were going to Milan. JJ's the only one at home now for
so
spring
you let
break.
him pick. Well,
So I was like, where do you want to go? And honestly, I said, we can go to Universal or Disney or something. I was trying to, and he's like, nah, I just want to sit by the pool and golf a little. And I was like, all right, Pop.
I was gonna say he's like getting ready for retirement.
Yeah.
So I
funny.
thought, well, let's at least
Okay.
go somewhere where there's the potential for something else exciting to happen.
Right, like a city with some stuff.
Right? Like I'm not going to go to Scottsdale, or just
Right.
or,
Sun City.
yeah, no. I was like, let's at least go somewhere. Maybe we could do something else.
Right.
So we're going to do that. But I have to admit, I'm, living in the mid-Atlantic area, we wrap our meats and cheeses for 6 months of the year, and then suddenly it's Miami, and I'm going to have to put on a swimsuit.
Oh,
and,
right. Yeah.
Although
you-
it's a kind of like a Punxsutawney Phil moment, because you get just a little bit of sunshine,
Yes.
and then I'll have to put it all back on and come home.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
So-
Then it's like it never happened.
Right.
Right.
So I'll blind everybody
Yeah.
in the greater Miami area with my
You don't know that.
pasty white skin. Well, someone said to me, well, why don't you self-tan before you
It's
go?
kind of a pain.
Well, and
I'm not very good at it.
I'm like olive skinned, and they don't make self-tanner in green,
Oh,
right? It's always on me
is it orange?
orange.
Yeah.
Like,
I've
it's
done
not a
like
good,
the
it's
really,
not a
really
good
light,
shade.
but I'm not good at it. Like you have to really be,
Yeah.
To
not be
it's like-
streaky and
yeah, you don't want to
leave your palm.
I do wash my hands when I've done it, but I feel like no tan is better than a bad self tan.
See,
like,
thank you.
You got to do it right, and I'm at one point in my life I cared about such things, but now I just don't. So, like,
I know. I don't know why I'm nervous. This is the same body I had last year. Like,
Right.
it's not like
It was
anything.
fine.
There's no improvements having been made. So it's not like it's going to be a surprise, is all I'm saying.
you could get a spray tan. You could go
Nah,
have a professional do it.
I'll just get crispy for 3 days and come
Yeah.
on home. And it'll fade by the time the sun comes back.
Right. It'd be like it never happened. Yep.
Like it never happened. Like I said, like Punxsutawney Phil. It's like, oh, sun. Okay, I'm going back.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my little Florida jaunt. Who's like it never happened.
It's
now.
like
Yeah.
it never happened.
It was nice while it lasted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Now, are your kids on spring break next year? Next week.
Next weekend.
Next year.
They are.
I
Next
think,
year.
I think I'll have one next
You're
year.
going to keep them in till next year.
Until next year.
Are you guys
Oh.
going to just do some family time? Or are you going to do some little trips? What are you doing,
Yeah.
Aaron?
What's up?
You don't know.
We have
Nothing.
nothing planned.
That's kind of good, though, too.
Nothing wrong with that.
Just having a little time off to do nothing. I appreciate
A
that.
little quality time.
Yeah.
Speaking of doing nothing, so this was weird.
Yeah.
So Chris, he loves him some Costco. Okay.
Oh, me too. I love Costco.
I love Costco.
It's not that I dislike Costco. I just don't understand. I can't handle the volume. Like my kids will be like, "Oh, can we get that? Let's try that." And if you
can't
don't
try
like,
it.
you can't
Right.
try anything, because if you don't like it,
Well,
then
that's
you're
why they
left.
do the samples.
Yeah, that's true.
But there's things that I think they'll like that nobody likes, or my kids will, like, oh, this is our favorite thing, and then I'll buy it, like a lot of it at Costco, and they're like, we don't really like that. Yeah.
Right.
No, or
So-
nobody ate it. Yeah.
Well,
It's
anyway.
a commitment.
So he was at Costco alone, which is usually not allowed.
Okay.
Oh, does he go crazy?
He buys all kinds of stuff.
So like come back with a
Yeah,
kayak,
exactly. he sends me
a tent.
He sends me like right now. I guess there's an outdoor bar.
I saw that. It's
Right?
cool.
It's very cool.
It's
It's
very
like
cool.
a little shed. It
It's
looks
like a little garden shed.
It
but
does. It looks like a garden shed, but you open it up and it's a bar. Like
it's a bar. It's it's really cool.
he'll be like, and I'm like, no, we don't need that. We never no. So
Yeah.
anyway, he was at Costco and there was a phone deal with your cell phones.
Oh, You never talk to those people.
I know. That's what he said. He's like, but he happened to stop and talk to this guy. And it actually was a very good deal for us to switch because we have 5 phones. I mean, so do you. Like, when you start getting a lot of lines, it gets crazy expensive.
We have some package. And my mother-in-law is on our package.
Right. So anyway, the package was good. He decided to switch. They sent us 5 brand new iPhones.
Wow.
Fabulous. Except.
So what number is it? What's the new iPhone?
16?
16.
So you have the AI.
So yeah, I have the AI. But here's what happened. So he's not much for reading directions. Just
neither.
And so he ordered different colors, but there's only 4 colors.
Oh.
So Ava and I got the same color phone. And so when the phones came, he just assumed one white phone is as good as another white phone.
Oh.
And he sent her a white phone, but they were linked to our phone numbers. It had it had it on the side of the box.
Oh,
in very small print.
So he sent her the wrong phone.
Her your phone.
So he sent her my phone.
Uh-oh.
So she went to activate it. It transferred the cellular data, shut my phone off.
Right.
Oh no.
Yes.
But of course
she didn't know.
She didn't know.
Right.
But of course she can't use the phone. It's not to her phone number. So she can't transfer her information. Like that phone's useless to her. But at the same time, my phone now is useless because there's no
revert.
Right.
So can you undo this?
Well, no, I just had to go and get the phone.
You had to drive to Pennsylvania to get the phone?
I mean, she could have mailed it to me, but I had to go to Pennsylvania anyway.
Right. And you kind of want your phone as quickly as possible.
But I went like 3 days without a phone. And
my God.
I always say I'm not a big phone, but when you don't have a phone at all,
that's so discombobulated.
It's very isolating.
Yes. And it would make me nervous.
Well, so luckily,
I would love it.
You would?
So luckily,
I would be lost.
I have a landline.
Mm-hmm.
So while I was at home, I could make phone calls if I remembered people's numbers, I
don't know anyone's number.
Right?
I don't even know my kids' number.
I mean, just family stuff. And Chris was able to, Chris texted the kids like, Mom doesn't have her phone. Just call her on the house phone, right? So I can at least talk to my kids.
Yeah.
But most people, I don't have their phone numbers memorized.
No.
So,
Rolodex.
Right. And then,
yeah.
Right. So then I get to Pennsylvania
and you drove to Pennsylvania with no phone.
Yeah.
That must have been scary.
It's a little, having that comfort of safety.
Yes. What if I break down at the side of the road?
No.
Who am I going to call?
You don't need to call anybody.
But what are you going to do?
It's an implied level of safety.
I get it, but that doesn't apply to me.
Right. No, I probably wouldn't. But
I can get the E on my tank and not be worried.
Well, yeah.
Well, some people are that.
Let's see how far we can go.
Yes. No, I want my phone charged up. I need my gas tank full.
But luckily, I was going somewhere that I knew how to. I mean, I don't keep a map in my car anymore, right?
Because you don't have your GPS.
So luckily, I was going somewhere. I knew how to get there, and so on and so forth. So I get there. Ava gives me the phone, and I go to transfer my information. Of course, it's not working. No. It's just spinning, and it's not working. So I said, I figured out that with my old phone, I could still direct message on certain apps. So I could DM someone on Instagram.
Oh.
Because that doesn't require cellular data.
Okay.
Or use WhatsApp. There's certain things that you can still use without.
Okay.
But I figured out I could, text Chris on Instagram.
Like, I can't get into the new phone.
Right.
Right.
And he's like, and I said, he goes, well, go to the AT&T store. Well, I am in a different town.
I don't know where it is.
I don't know where. Yeah. I was like, I would. I could just drive around for a while.
Yeah.
But I have no idea where it is.
Right.
I don't have a map. I don't have a phone book. I don't have a landline. Like it was a little.
Yeah, that's a little.
It was a little unnerving. Like,
so could Ava take you around?
Well, yeah. I mean, like exactly. Like at least I had those two, and they could look things up and tell me, and then just be like, this is. Well, it was funny because Chris is like, well, here's the address. I go again.
Yeah. I need turn by turn directions with the that say.
And I'm supposed to do what with this?
What? Yeah.
So, but anyway, I found it.
Yeah.
Did they help you?
They helped
Yeah.
me. They were
Obviously.
very helpful.
Yeah. Got it all figured out.
And it wasn't me. It was a software. The guy was like, no. Because I was like, I walked in and I go, it's probably me. I'm just going to say this right up front. But I've been trying to do this for 4 hours and it's not working and blah, blah. And he's like, no. There was a glitch in your software. So I got my phone. But for like 3 days, it was a little weird. Like I just felt like
I just figured you're having a busy week. We hadn't heard from you.
I know, right?
Right.
A lot. But and that was the other thing.
Now, if
A
we
lot
don't
of
hear
people
from you,
thought
we'll-
I was mad
Oh.
or
Right.
like was being
You have to
rude.
respond,
or,
okay.
right? Yeah.
See,
Oh, that's
how
right.
it is.
And I'm not on Facebook, so it's not like I have a computer,
Right.
but
you
it's
don't-
not like I could go on something and just make hey guys, by the way, I don't have, my phone's not working. Like there was no way for me to make an announcement
Right.
that
so
I
she's
wasn't
just
going to
blowing everybody off.
It
That
was
Leslie.
It was a very strange.
So were they
couple
all?
of days.
Everyone was mad at you when you came back on.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't have a phone. And they're like, sure.
Sure. That's what they all say.
Rude,
Yeah.
Wow.
but
Well, that is quite an adventure.
it was adventurous.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's funny because I will think about, when I was in my 20s, I'd like drive 10 hours
Oh,
by myself
absolutely.
with no phone and nobody knew where I was. And I was fine with it because I didn't know any better.
But but see, here's the difference. You were always prepared. Like,
Yeah.
I had that big
The
atlas,
MacBook. Yeah, the book.
that had the whole United States in my
yes, and
car.
you'd be like C20.
Right, and I
Like,
could
was
get
yeah.
pretty much anywhere. Or you had a phone book. Like you had references that we've all sort of dropped because
Right.
they're not necessary anymore. Well, now I'm gonna.
Yeah,
be,
now
I'm,
you need your big map atlas book.
now I'm gonna have like a doomsday tub.
The Doomsday tub with the atlas book and what else is going to be
Morse
in there?
code.
Morse code. I have a solar
A generator.
flashlight.
Oh, a solar flashlight. When
that,
crank-
and the one that cranks. I think it's a like radio.
We have one of those. It's a flashlight and a radio.
Yeah. I don't know where it is.
Is the radio gonna? I guess radio can still. Yeah, radio will still work. Yeah, if there's
guess.
like
If there's
Yeah.
an apocalypse or
an
absolutely.
emergency or even a
Right.
weather emergency or something like that where you can't use your. But see, like that's even different because, if there's a power outage, like in a certain area, everybody in that area is affected. So someone's not calling you or answering you because
right because
we're all affected. But like it was just me,
right. It was just you. Yeah. No, that's different.
Nobody else.
So I am a little bit of a doomsday prepper.
Are you?
Well, this is just this one thing.
This
ordered.
is interesting.
Because you know what, I'm
I like
very
to be
excited to hear
prepared.
this because I would like to have a doomsday. I really would like to have a doomsday box just for peace of mind.
What I have, and I bought them for my children. They're gonna think I'm a psycho, but I got these solar cell phone chargers
Oh,
in case of a power outage. Because 2 of my kids are in Florida, and like they could have hurricanes. Like they're gonna roll their eyes and be like, "Oh my God, Mom!" But
no, that's a good idea.
and we've all had power outages. It doesn't happen often, but I want my phone charged.
Right?
Yeah. So yeah. My husband's like,
Wow.
"Who ordered these?" I'm like, "It was me.
I'm preparing my tub.
I'm preparing for the end of the world. This is my doomsday prepping tub."
What else?
We'll have a cell service if nothing else.
Aaron, you'd be good at this.
I feel like you'd be good at it.
What would you put in a doomsday tub?
Well, I don't know.
See,
like
You haven't thought about this?
No, I don't think about this.
Oh, I do.
Okay,
Not in
here's-
any way
here's-
whatsoever. Like I will say, like in case we do go without electricity for days on end,
Right.
I do have a generator in my garage just
Oh,
in
see,
case.
that's good.
Yeah,
So you
we
can-
don't have a generator.
We don't have a generator, so you won't lose your food in your
No,
freezer.
exactly. Yes, absolutely.
Are generators expensive?
No, they got them at Costco.
Yeah.
And they have
Really?
solar panel ones too.
That's what I want.
Yeah, go to
So
Costco.
when we were looking, like, because we went through this kind of time where we're like, oh, we're gonna move to Puerto Rico, and you need a generator.
Gotcha.
I was looking.
Yeah,
But I
no,
did
no.
not know they had the solar ones at
Yeah.
Costco.
Well, they're
How much
like
are they?
they're regular generators, but they have like an optional. You can buy the solar panel
That's what
to
I
plug in, so it
Generating.
can. Yeah. So there's
There's
different.
a backup battery probably on.
Right.
That's cool. Because I have lost my food, and that sucks.
Yes, it does.
It's very expensive.
See, I would also add a water purifier.
Oh, smart. I have a whole house
One never
water.
knows.
I
We
have
have
a
a
whole
whole-
house water purifier, but I guess it only works if
But no, I mean like
like if there's
the kind they use for camping,
oh
Right.
right? That
Yeah.
you can put
Brita.
right, like a basically a
Brita?
glorified Brita.
Yeah.
Probably that. Yeah, the flashlight
flashlight.
radio
I do have
thing.
some. Yeah, I have that. I have some
I
flashlights.
don't know if I would do the food. And you see, the problem with like, did you
Yeah,
ever
it
notice?
depends on how it depends
Yeah, I
on
don't think
how
I'm
crazy
that
you're
far.
going.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
don't think
that
I'm
far.
that-
You want
That's
canned
too-
food for like
right.
a year and a half?
No,
You
I'm
wanna
not
be
that
like,
crazy.
No, I'm not that crazy. And I've seen those like kits of like dehydrated
Yeah, dehydrated.
beef stew.
Right.
Yep,
where I'm like,
absolutely.
I'm not there.
I think mine would be more of a thing that if you had to leave in a hurry, like flashlights, blankets, like, I don't know, like a medicine
Right.
kit, like, whether you had to stay in place, but like I have, if it was at home, I have plenty of medicine and Band-Aids and stuff. Something you could throw in the car.
But
right. Like, what would you take if you had to leave in an emergency? What would you throw in your car?
Erin's wondering what disaster I'm preparing for, and I'm not sure.
that's what I'm like,
I don't
okay, let's
know.
logically talk about
No,
this
this
for a
has
second.
nothing to do with logic.
And
This
I-
is strictly panic.
This is just making
All these
us
people
feel
building
better.
these bunkered underground
Well, I'm not
bunkers
building a
and
bunker.
everything.
I'm not.
They've been building bomb shelters since the 40s and 50s.
But that's my point is like there's this I get it, but what the hell is anybody gonna do? Okay, somebody drops a nuke on us.
Yeah.
Ain't
Okay.
nothing you're gonna do
You
in
don't know.
any
You
way
don't think-
whatsoever with a
you
medicine
don't
kit
think
or
that
anything
my
like that.
solar
So beyond
cell phone
that,
charger will save
what
me?
else is somebody gonna do that is gonna create a national response that we have to immediately run for it?
dirty bombs.
Dirty bombs. Oh,
Okay, like an EMP or something like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
okay.
even then,
I watch a lot of TV, Erin.
I know.
I have a lot of
I
scenarios.
am well aware.
There's a lot of scenarios happening, and
She's-
clearly
and
they're
she-
crossing.
She
I'm
needs
not-
to be prepared.
I don't know what I'm preparing for, but I will be prepared.
Well, I like to prepare. Like, I like to have a lot of toilet paper on hand. Ever since, well, especially after the pandemic, but
We do have a plan.
There's gonna be zombies.
Yeah.
I know there's gonna be zombies.
right.
We do have a plan. We do have a plan because now that the kids are at college and everybody's in different directions, that if the shit hit the fan, I don't know what shit and I don't know what fan.
Right.
You have a central point that you're
We have
gonna.
a central point where we all meet up.
Yes.
Oh.
Which is basically in Pennsylvania because my parents, it's my parents' house because they live in rural Pennsylvania,
Oh,
right? So
nobody's
okay
gonna mess
back
you'll be
there.
okay there.
Yeah.
Be in the
and like
backwoods.
people, like there's wells and I mean, like
Right.
you
right.
can survive
You can feed off
longer.
the fan, off the
You
land.
can hunt a deer and
Yeah.
And my dad has a shotgun. Like I don't have a
Right,
gun. My
right.
dad has a shotgun, and like yeah. So
that makes sense.
we have a central meeting point. But if I have to grab a tub,
Right.
I want to have a tub ready, or at my house, most of the things in my house I wouldn't
Take.
take. I
No,
mean, I'm
no.
not. My possessions. I'm not that attached
Yeah.
to my possessions.
No.
Maybe pictures.
Pictures.
Yeah.
Most of my pictures on
I mean,
my
you-
phone now. Like I
Well, that's true.
spent a lot of money to have like all of the family photos scanned years
Probably
ago.
do that as part of my prepping.
Yes, yes. So now, I mean, I have like 40,000 pictures on my phone because
That's a lot of pictures.
I know.
Wow.
I
Why
do.
don't you just dump them onto a hard drive?
Well, I mean, they're on the cloud, I think. I
She's not sure.
don't know. I don't know.
I think
Anyway,
they're
So
just
for-
on her phone.
Okay.
they're in my computer. They're on we have all Mac stuff. So
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, I have like
So
because I was the one that did this project. Like when my parents moved, they had boxes of old photos of like, like my great grandparents and
Oh yeah.
like cool stuff. But I took it all and I was going to just scan it. And that's a lot of pictures.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even our pictures, like when our kids were little, before everything was digitized, we had, so I went through and, scanned, had paid to have that all scanned, thousands of pictures.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Well, if it's in the cloud, you should be fine.
yeah, it is. But yeah, but there's,
Yeah.
those are the things I would get. But I'd like maybe grab the kids' baby books or my wedding photo album or something.
Right. Well, it's different too. We don't have a lot of family heirloom type things anymore. Like, right. That
Yeah, we
people
don't.
would take, so there's not a lot of possessions per se that would even make a difference. I mean,
Yeah.
I would hate if
Yeah.
something bad happened.
Absolutely.
But nonetheless,
yeah, no, I can't think of like other than photos or what would I, in my documents and like, just the things you.
so you think I'm
Important
crazy.
Hmm.
My sister-in-law wanted my brother to invest in diamonds, buy loose diamonds, because if something went down, she'd be able to swallow the diamonds. So no
And-
one could take them from her, and then they'd be safe.
Wow. Okay. That makes me feel.
He didn't do it.
Okay.
He was like, "You're insane."
Then you have to
Like-
poop out the diamonds.
in case she was a refugee.
Okay. Well, that's thinking ahead. I mean,
Wow. Wow.
I thought I was.
You're just surprised people
I
think like
thought
this.
I was a little paranoid with my cell phone charger, but
No, now you feel good about the
Yeah,
cell phone
exactly.
charger. It
It
seems
seems-
rather tame.
seems perfectly reasonable.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Aaron's just can't.
Aaron's
you
just-
can't get a grip on this, can you?
No, I mean, I know a lot of people feel this way.
Yeah.
I just don't.
See, because you seem like you'd be very resourceful. I feel like out of all of us, you'd probably come up with the best plan if you cared about it.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the chances.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, I can do a MacGyver and
Right.
You
do
need
whatever
some
I
duct
need to do.
tape.
But
Yeah,
A lighter.
duct tape, lighter, matches, or those. Oh no, I like those big candle holder lighters.
Yes. Yeah. That sounds. Yeah.
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 Well, and also I just watched 1923. This is going to be a spoiler, people. So if you haven't listened, if you watch it and you haven't seen the finale,
I don't even know what
turn
it
this
is.
down for a second.
1923.
1923 is a TV series about
1923.
No, so you've heard of Yellowstone?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's one of the prequels. So
Okay.
Yellowstone is over.
Okay. I watched like 2 episodes and I wasn't into it, but everyone says it's good.
And yeah, and then they do it in 1883,
Oh.
and then they do so at how they got to Montana, and then they do in 1923, and then so anyway, so now right now the current one is 1923.
Okay.
And they just had their season finale,
Is
and
it good? Was that Netflix?
Yes.
So what's it on?
it's on Paramount Plus.
Oh.
Yeah,
have
that's
that.
the other thing. If
Yeah.
you don't have
I don't
Paramount Plus,
think
the
so.
only reason we have it is because Chris loved Yellowstone.
Oh, okay.
And 1883 and 1923. So we have it just for that show. Now that they're all over, he'd probably get rid of
Yeah,
it. But-
like watch everything you want and then cancel.
so anyway, okay, so this is a spoiler. So you
Okay.
see it, but anyway, so the one woman is trying to get to her husband in Montana. She's in England. They got separated. Okay.
In the
Her-
war? Oh no, it's 1923. So when would
It was after, so it's after World War One.
okay.
And they met in Europe, and there's this
Is
whole
he a cowboy?
Well, yes, he's a rancher,
Oh, okay.
but he's been in Africa killing lions. I don't know why. I can't remember why. There was a reason. Anyway, long story short, they meet up. They, opposite ends of the world, right? They fall in
right.
love, and She's supposed to marry someone else. It's the long-winded romance,
right.
blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they get married, they get separated. He's trying to get back to Montana to help save the ranch. She's trying to get to Montana to be with him, but it's winter. And she makes it to somewhere in, I want to say Chicago, with all these bad things.
You don't want to be in Chicago in the winter.
But she has to get from Chicago to Bozeman, Montana.
Bozeman.
Right? And she finds these people that are willing to drive her. But this is back in 1923. So it's not like there's
Right.
And that's the middle of nowhere. I mean, that's kind of in the middle of nowhere now.
Right.
I've made that drive from Iowa to Montana.
They get to this one stop to fill up the gas tank. And keep in mind, these are old cars. They don't.
And they probably don't have gas stations in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. That's the problem. So they get to this one gas station and the lady at the gas station says, don't you catch the train from here. Leave your car. Don't try to drive. There's no more gas stations between here and Bozeman. You're not going to make it.
Right. You're not gonna
Wow.
But they go anyway.
I hope they had their prepper box.
No, that's the problem.
They didn't have.
They stop.
What would be the 1920s?
They stop
version?
3 miles from Bozeman, and 2 of them freeze to death. And the girl's left by herself, and she has to make a fire out of things she finds in the car.
Oh, wow. So
And the lady's perfume. She used that as an accelerant.
Oh. Okay, I bring
She
my
did
perfume
have a
as
lighter, right?
See, you laugh. But
You laugh, Aaron.
you laugh.
She only
you
leaves
never
because she
know.
made a fire in the
The
Model
other
T
two, right?
I mean, hey.
with some perfume and newspaper. She
you
was
got to be resourceful.
You gotta be resourceful.
I mean,
Yeah.
She didn't even know she was only 3 miles from town.
Oh, right, because you think you're like, I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
She died.
She died?
She died.
What?
She got saved, but it was too late.
And then she died anyway?
She died anyway.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Frostbite.
That's the season finale.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Uplifting.
That's why I said if you turn this off.
so everybody dies.
Not everybody, but a lot of people died. Well, it was Montana in the 1920s. It really
not-
wasn't a good place
Right.
to be.
No.
Well, and where did they get their stuff if they couldn't drive? I mean, I guess maybe there was a railroad.
Well, they kind of buckled down for the winter. There was a railroad.
Okay.
And they still could use horses and things like that. But like you basically buckled down for the winter and came out in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
At least according to this show. I don't.
Okay.
I mean,
I just
I don't know how
historically
accurate it is.
No, they have to set the
Good enough
zombies
for
next.
me.
Yeah, then the zombies came. They were
zombies
all
came.
frostbitten zombies, but they were zombies nonetheless.
It's all right. She was prepared.
Frostbite Zombie. That would be a good band name.
Ooh, that's a great band
know,
name.
right?
Frostbite Zombie.
Frostbite Zombie. I kind of want a T-shirt.
What?
I know.
Kirsten,
I love
what's
it.
going on the list?
I think it's a contender.
It may knock off Demons of Woe.
Maybe.
It's going to knock
a
that
high
one
bar.
down. It's going to knock
It's
it
a
down.
high bar.
I like that Frostbite Zombie.
I'm feeling it. It's edgy like
It
us.
is. Just like us. So edgy.
So edgy.
But I'm also doing a little mini trip. With some girlfriends and my friend Jeannie, who writes to us all the time.
yes.
Hi, Jeannie.
So Jeannie and I are driving together, and she said, "Oh, we can finish up the rest of the podcast." She's on 83. She went from one. She's been listening.
What?
I thought you meant Jeannie's
She's
83.
83 episodes in.
83 episodes, and she
Wow.
started at 1, and she's all the
Go,
way up
Jeannie.
to 83.
And what was it? I think on 100, we asked if anybody's actually listened to
She's
all
doing
100
it. It was she took it.
episodes.
She took
And
that
gets a
challenge,
challenge.
seriously.
Oh my
Go, Jeannie.
gosh.
Thank
Jeannie,
you.
wow. I am highly impressed.
Right?
Me too. That's awesome.
And what's scary is she's going to remember everything
But
much
you
more.
won't.
I
Well,
have
it's
no.
been 3 years.
It was like I was never there. We all do that. I'm like, have we told this story?
So
Like,
how?
like 3
I'm
times.
wondering how she's consuming them. Is she bulk listening? Is she listening
didn't
week
ask.
by week?
I
Is
didn't
she?
ask. I'll find out.
Yeah.
But she's determined.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'd be interested to have her on the show and ask her what her thoughts.
Yeah,
We'll
next,
all right, Jeannie, if you're listening. Although she's not listening to this one yet, probably.
No,
but
no. It'll be
Jeannie, when you're listening,
You're
you're in.
You're coming on the show.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I
So
have to fight Cowboy Chris.
You've got mail.
Yay, mail.
speaking of
Oh,
our wonderful audience, now I have a bunch of new emails. So hold on.
A bunch?
a bunch?
More than one?
No. I mean,
His
you.
personal.
You personally.
Aaron,
now I
they
have to
are
go
not us.
through everything and figure out which one. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
All right.
Labeled dad jokes.
Ooh, dad jokes.
A subject that touches my soul.
Is
Dad
this
jokes.
Charlie?
I'm so glad, Charlie. I know. Yeah, it has to be
it's gotta
Charlie.
be Charlie.
I am a dad joke.
It's Charlie.
My personal best, based on visceral reaction of my kids, I use frequently when I go out to eat. When the waiter or waitress comes to check on us after our food has been served and asks, "Did everything come out all right?" I have to respond, "I don't know yet. It's still going in."
Oh, way to
Okay,
go.
I like that one.
Excellent dad joke.
That's an excellent dad joke.
Charlie. Yep. Awesome.
That's an excellent one.
That's a good one. Way to go, Charlie.
Of course.
And now I might have to use that.
yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one. That's definitely that's definitely up there.
Yeah.
I was just
feel
looking.
like my dad would
Oh, go
have said
ahead.
something like that. Yeah. He was.
I was looking for my phone. Where did I? Now that I have a phone, I can't find it.
So let me see your new phone.
Do you need me to call you?
Yeah, yeah, please.
Oh.
No, I was looking for my phone because I found one more of those psychological tests.
Oh, I love those.
So I figured I'd do this new psychological test on you and tell
Okay.
you guys what I came up with. Wow. Okay.
How do you like the new
Fancy
phone?
phone. What's
You know what? It's
is that the MagSafe charger on the
Siri.
back?
It's Siri's a little glitchy actually
Siri
because
just lit
it's
up.
trying
it's
to.
lighting up.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. All I have to say
knows
is her
we're
name.
talking
and
about her.
Yeah. Because it's trying to be too intuitive.
Yeah, they're not there yet.
So it's really glitchy.
Yeah.
Like,
Siri's glitchy anyway.
Yeah.
Even old Siri.
but when I, the simple things that it used to actually get right, it's not even getting right now. So
Yeah. It's Apple's not doing so well right now.
yeah, so it's still a little glitchy, but it is what it is. And
So personality test.
personality.
Okay.
Wait, I got to find that. I took
Took a screenshot.
screenshots of the answers because I knew I would remember. Okay, hold on.
Holding.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Do we need the Jeopardy?
Oh, sure.
Oh, sure.
Jeopardy.
So
That wasn't the one I was thinking of.
what's very appropriate for the psychological test.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
All right, so
Wow. Okay.
All right, I'm nervous.
Here we go.
All right.
you're in the middle of a forest, jungle, whatever you want to picture. That's completely up to you. Somewhere remote that you have to get out of. I'm going to say forest.
Okay, we're going with 4.
I'm going with the forest.
Sound effects here.
Okay.
Okay, we're in a forest.
You're in a forest.
Okay.
You have 4 pets. You have a cow, a lion, a horse, and a monkey
In the forest.
in the forest.
Okay.
And you got to leave. You got to get out of this forest and you got 4 pets. Now,
Cow, horse, monkey, lion.
yes, cow, horse, monkey, lion. So you consult your maps and you realize you're not going to have enough food for all 5 of you.
Oh, so
You
sad.
got to
One has to go.
You have to leave 1 pet behind. Okay. So of the
Oh, I thought we were going to eat one of them.
no. Well, I mean that's an option
Which
that's
would be the
open
most
to you.
delicious?
But you have to leave one of the pets behind. So of those 4, and we'll summarize this at the end. But you can say of those 4 pets, what would you leave behind? What would be the first animal you'd say? Sorry, buddy, you got to stay here.
Cow, horse, monkey, lion.
You need my answer now?
Yeah. I'm like, yeah.
I'm saying lion.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
say lion.
You're going to leave the lion. Okay. I left the monkey.
Okay.
Okay. We're moving on.
All right.
So we're journeying. There's only one path out, so we get on that path and we're almost out, but we run out of food. Okay. So again, you come up to, you meet a guy, and he happens to have a ton of food, and he'll trade you all of his food for one of your pets. Which pet do you trade?
Okay. The monkey.
You trade the monkey?
This is interesting.
Aaron's still thinking. Just go with the first thing that came to your mind.
I don't.
Because you're over
overthinking.
prepping.
You're overthinking.
You're prepping for this.
You're prepping. You're a psychological
Yeah,
prepper.
I'm literally thinking about,
We're
okay,
literal
what can the
preppers, but Aaron's
cow
a
give me?
psychological
Milk?
prepper.
Yeah, but you're prepping too. It's really not that important. The prepping part.
Okay.
Go with your instinct.
So just pick one. Which one do you leave behind now?
Monkey. I'm not sure. Okay, monkey, sure.
Both of you left the monkey.
Yeah.
All right, fair. So you're down to a horse and a cow.
a horse and a cow.
A horse and a cow. I traded the cow. So I'm down to a horse and a lion. Okay.
Okay.
Fair?
Fair.
All right. We're almost out of the forest. But your last two pets get into a fight, and you can only save one of them. Which one do you save?
We have a horse and a cow.
The horse.
You save the horse. What do you save, Aaron?
I feel bad.
I have all the
cow.
food.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. They're fighting. They get into a...
No, but I have food. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm getting rid of the cow.
Right. So you're saving the horse. You're saving the horse.
Yeah.
I also, between my lion and my horse, I saved the horse.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting,
Everyone
right?
loves
We
the
all
horses.
saved the horse. So let
Okay.
us analyze our
Let us
answers, shall we?
analyze.
Okay. So if you saved keeping the horse to the end shows that you value ambition and independence. Okay. If you had given it up earlier in the story, so the horse itself symbolizes freedom and drive. So if you let it go early in the story, it means you'd sacrifice independence for your goals. So clearly, none of us would sacrifice our independence to achieve our goals. That's not a something we'd be willing to give up for a certain goal. But it
Okay.
shows that we value ambition and independence. Now,
Just want the horse to get the hell out of here.
I like horses.
the lion symbolizes courage and power. So leaving it behind shows that you're willing to set aside assertiveness to achieve your goals. But keeping it last means that you value strength and leadership in whatever you do. All right.
I got rid of it because the lion might eat me.
What have you
and the
done for
other-
me lately? No, I got rid of the lion
because it was the most dangerous.
I was like, so at least when I leave, I have a horse, and the horse can actually assist me in life somehow, or the
Yeah.
lion
Well,
is...
that's just it. I can get on top of a horse and
Right.
it can get me the hell out of here. Yeah, let's go.
Right.
I guess you could ride a lion too. I mean, if he's your pet, he's probably tame, but it's not the same.
No, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
And it's strange because
I don't want to ride a lion.
the whole
not
Oh,
doing
I'd
that.
ride a lion.
You would?
Yeah.
the whole
I'm not doing
premise of this is because I was thinking, okay, what can each of these do for
Right.
me?
Well, and that's the way I approached it
Yeah, me
too.
too.
Because you keep the cow because you're thinking if I have to eat something, I can eat the cow. But
Cows are nice.
but
but it doesn't rely on that really at all. Well,
but
kind
the
of.
cow can't. Cow's
Yeah.
kind of a burden. It's big and it's slow and it can't protect you. So when a guy came to me with food, I traded my cow for the food.
Right.
Right. So I was
Right.
thinking logically too, but this isn't.
Okay.
These things aren't logical. They're
They're
just.
just
Right.
deep, you're deep
They're
into
just-
your psyche.
Yes.
All right. So the cow stands for stability. Leaving it behind means you'd sacrifice comfort for your goals. Keeping it last shows you value security in your life. So
I
some
do
people,
value
I could see some
security.
people keeping the cow thinking the cow will give me milk.
Right.
It'll give right.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Never-ending source of milk.
Yeah.
But
could
see, I
see.
saw the cow as a burden.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I held on to the cow until I had food. And then once I have food, I'm like, all right,
Done with the cow.
I don't need the cow anymore.
All right. And then the monkey never makes it. I swear.
Yeah. So nobody says
Yeah,
the
the
poor
monkey's
monkey.
a strange one because it can help you out in terms of getting things that wouldn't normally be attainable.
It's sort of similar, I think, to having a dog.
It's fun to have around, but if I'm in the woods and survival, I'm letting the monkey go.
Right. Well, but
Yeah.
like the monkey could assist you in hunting and things like that, maybe gathering. I don't know. Who knows?
Gathering. More
But
gathering.
the monkey represents playfulness and adaptability. Letting go shows you set aside flexibility for your goals. Keeping it to the end means you value creativity and curiosity.
See, I feel like I would have been a monkey, but I didn't.
But you
I
didn't
let
pick the
that
monkey.
go
Because you were prepping.
I was prepping, and I was in my mindset, I'm all about survival. So, like
Clearly.
Well, that's how
Yeah.
it's set up. I need to get out of here. There's only
Yeah.
one path. How do I get out of here?
Right.
and I'm
Survival.
gonna ride my horse.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. I'm going to ride the horse and the horse. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think that's probably a rigged one because I think most people would end up with a horse.
I would
Wouldn't
think
you?
so too.
Yeah, and
would think so.
also like horses are like the animals that I don't know most people like the best.
A lot of people like
A lot
horses.
of like, yeah.
I don't like horses.
You don't like horses?
I'm not fond
love
either.
horses.
I
Really?
grew up right, like literally across the street from my house was a horse boarding farm.
Oh wow!
I had horses in front of me all growing up. They terrify me.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Oh, I like them.
Terrifying.
Yeah, they're just massive beasts.
They
that
are
can
massive.
Do
They're
a lot of harm
gentle.
real freaking quick.
And I had a horse when I was like 12, and I
Really?
and I would vault like she just let me, I just kind of. I don't know.
Right. But you rode.
Lie
and
on
you
her.
had-
Like I would just play with her. Like I would,
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
like she was a dog.
Yeah, I mean, I would like lay over her, or just like sit on her and talk to her, and I don't know.
Wow. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
No,
And
I've
ride
always
her.
been well, and part of it, the horses that lived on that farm full time
weren't friendly.
they had a Shetland pony named Tuna. That
Tuna.
was the meanest
We had a
MFer
Shetland
you ever saw.
pony too, and he was mean. I don't remember him. I mean, I remember he was really cute, and the rest of my family was like older. Was like, oh, he was so mean.
Oh, yeah, this was the meanest little thing. He bit and he kicked and he spit. He was so mean.
Well, he's probably like got like Napoleon syndrome. He's like.
But I
Gotta
was
stand
like,
up for
dude,
himself.
and he wasn't even that big. And I was like, dude, that's
Tuna's a pretty funny name.
Tuna.
For a pony. I like it.
So yeah. I'm not a horse person, but in this story, clearly I am.
Yeah, maybe.
If I was in Montana or in this forest, I would clearly need a horse.
Well, we're all thinking kind of Montana and prepping, and if you
I got us in a mode.
were worried about frostbite in the forest, you'd want the horse to get out of there before you died.
If any of our listeners has a complete list that I can, shop for, feel free to email
Right,
it.
yeah.
I'll
shopping list, and
Our song.
we'll be taking
I think we should change our
suggestions
song
on
to
the
survival or something.
Doomsday shopping list.
Well, Rome can go, because we might have to roam to
Right.
get the hell
right,
out of
right,
Dodge
right.
when they try to destroy all these data centers we have.
Right, yeah, they may go after the data
That's
center. Will
what
be
I'm
the
saying.
collateral damage.
I used to worry
Yeah.
about DC. Now I'm not worried about DC at all.
Yeah, yeah,
No. It's all the data centers.
yeah.
We're doomed.
This is true.
Either that or we're going to get the brain cancer from all the waves.
There's a lot of big old. Now, okay, I wasn't worried about that, but now.
Erin looked at me like, okay, she's gone over the deep end. I just said it to, stir the pot a little bit.
Maybe we need to take the phone away from Leslie.
Leslie, you're off your phone.
It's already given me a little head cancer, I think. I think that's the problem. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Where did you find this latest quiz?
Oh gosh, it was something that popped up when I was, because I had looked for them before. So
so now
it's
your phone
something,
knows you
yeah.
like those.
Showing.
now every now and then it'll send me one. Yeah. So it.
Those are kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very insightful.
Very insightful. I've learned so little about myself.
Yeah.
Other than I'm a sucker for these stupid quizzes.
Right.
It works.
So I went flower picking the other day,
Oh, that's right.
and I'm gonna send you home with some tulips.
So here's my question for you.
Yeah.
So you said you came home with way too many tulips, which is why you're so nicely sharing your tulips.
Yes.
Was there not a switch in your head that said, this is enough tulips and I don't need to pick anymore?
It was fun. They give you a little basket. It looks like you're in the Wizard of Oz or like in Wicked, where like there's just fields of tulips, or in Holland or the Netherlands. It was in Gainesville.
Nice.
And I saw it online and I thought it was too late, but I have this friend who likes tulips. And so I sent her this video. I'm like, we should do this next year. And she's like, oh, wait, the tickets are on sale now. And so anyway, so I went with 2 friends. And so we had a little field trip.
Nice.
And I knew it was the only day that all 3 of us could go. So I knew I was leaving in a couple of days. But I'm like, I'm going to give you guys some tulips. I'm going to give some to my pet sitter.
Nice.
So anyway, so I was like, I need enough to pick enough to share. But it's $20 to get in. And then after that, and you get 5 free tulips. And then after that, it's $1 a tulip. Or for the daffodils, it's 50 cents each.
Wow.
So it wasn't very expensive.
Oh, okay.
So
And it was fun. And we all got, and they had all different kinds and like just fields and,
interesting. So would you say you came home with an armload?
So they wrapped them up in like a little paper bouquet. Like you feel like all fancy. Yeah.
So how many total tulips did you come home with?
I think I paid $16.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
So,
When
it's
you
a good
said you were
amount.
giving us, I thought you were like you came home with like 100 and some tulips.
No. It was like, there's 2 bouquets and
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Very
But
neat.
it was neat. It was
Yeah.
a fun little thing. I would do it again.
And pretty, I imagine.
It was very pretty. Yeah. Oh, I'll show you. Oh, I have photos.
Well, that's not going to go well over the
I
podcast.
know.
Maybe.
You can describe them. But no, it's really
I'm
pretty.
seeing tulips
Well, no, but these are
and
fields.
more tulips.
But they're fields and
They're
fields
fields
of them.
and
It is
fields.
impressive when there's fields
Oh,
and
there you
fields.
go. Yeah.
Fields
Yeah,
and
that's
fields.
actually very cool. It's just like stripes. It looks like rainbows on the ground.
It does look like rainbows on the ground. Very. See, you get a little basket,
Cute.
like you're Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Very cute. And you had a nice sunny day.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
would
was
love
laughing.
to-
I'm like, oh, we should like skip.
Yeah, right?
Skipping through the fields of tulips with our baskets.
through the tulips.
That's right.
I would love to one day go to Holland and witness the whole.
I've had friends. I had a friend that sent pictures. I think it was from last year that she went. And
Yeah.
that-
During the tulip time?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's supposed to be spectacular. I mean, that was impressive. So I can only imagine what it's like.
And then I keep on seeing lavender fields.
Isn't that pretty?
I just, wow.
But you can do
Like
lavender.
Provence?
Lavender works here.
Yes.
Are there
can do.
fields of lavender? Can we go lavender field picking? Is that a thing?
So yes, that is a thing.
Around here?
Not so much around here.
You have to go to Provence?
No, you can do it in the United States. Like Seattle, for instance, which has a similar like climate,
Oh, okay.
but they have lavender farms where you can go, and it's just fields and fields of lavender.
That would be cool.
But lavender works here. That like
I've grown lavender.
there's been a couple private residences that I've helped with their landscape design, and out here there's a lot of these big houses on acres and acres of farmland or farmland adjacent. And the one house we did a whole, like the house was kind of up on the hill, and then it had this hill leading to the farms in the distance, and we covered them in lavender. And so it
That
looks
must have been
and smells
fabulous.
awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have to like bees though. Like you can't be afraid of like,
I like
you'll get a lot of bees.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Bees are good for the environment.
Yeah.
though.
But I mean, some people just don't,
Right. They freak out.
Yeah.
Or if you have a bee allergy, that's probably a bad
but
idea.
it's very cool. It looks really pretty.
Yeah. Neat.
Yeah.
The wind blowing through it.
Yeah. Cause it kind of waves and it's just really pretty.
Cool.
Wow.
Very nice. So that was the excitement of my week besides, yeah.
Very cool.
I think that was it. But next week should be very exciting. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. Next week I'm
So when do you leave from Miami?
not till Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're here through the weekend, but, Yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting a lot of excitement. I'm expecting to sit with my little old man next to the pool.
That's so
He
sweet.
didn't even say like go swimming. He wants to sit next to the pool.
Sit next to the pool and
Maybe golf a little.
do a little golfing. Yeah, maybe eat dinner at 4.
I'm like, today,
In bed by 8.
I'm just wondering if having a geriatric mother has done this to him or he was just born that way. I'm not quite
I think
sure.
he's probably just an old soul. Yeah,
Not quite sure.
that's funny.
So, so there's a story I told, this will be the last thing.
Yeah.
Because I know Kirsten has to go get ready for her trip. So there's a story I told off air last week about JJ. We got an, I can say it on air. I wasn't sure last week if I could say it on air.
Oh,
I had to ask him if it was okay that I talked about it, but
Okay.
he said it was fine. So, I think I told you guys. Maybe I didn't tell you guys.
I
I
don't know where this
I
is
don't know
going.
what- yeah, anyway.
We don't know what's.
We have no idea.
We talked about his band last week.
Okay, well, so maybe I didn't tell you guys this. Okay, so this, because I found it funny. It may not seem funny to other people, but I found it very funny.
Okay.
So, we got an email from the vice principal at his school. And the email was not just to us, but to everybody. There was like maybe 6 or 7 parents emailed. Okay. And it said, there was an email circulating about a fight after school. Your son saw it, did not
Participate.
Didn't participate, but it was sent to him. And we just wanted to let you know that he saw it.
Okay.
So he comes home from school. So I didn't tell you guys this.
No.
Oh, okay.
This is all news to
I'm
us.
intrigued.
So he comes home from school and I go, "What, do you know what this is?" And he's like, "What? I don't." And he goes, "Oh, yeah." So he brings up this email and it's from this random kid. He had emailed every kid named James in the school, which is only like 5 or 6 kids because we
Okay.
have a very multicultural school.
Right.
James is not a
right.
very common name.
Okay.
There's,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So he emailed everybody named James and said, "Hey, Jameses, you guys need to meet after school and fight it out for the name James."
Hilarious.
That is
That's
funny.
freaking great.
Isn't it funny?
Yes, that's
So
hilarious.
he met up. So he showed up. They
So,
all showed
no,
up.
no. So
Oh, I would. I
Oh.
would so show up and be like,
they all,
I mean, I wouldn't fight, but I
Yeah.
would totally be like, you
they,
guys, this is great.
they all,
That never happened to a Kirsten.
right. I mean, it's funny.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Right?
That's
funny.
hilarious.
That's funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
So clearly there was not going to be a fight. Like it was
No.
a joke. There was not going
Funny.
to be an
Yes.
actual fight.
No,
there
no,
was
no.
okay.
That was never the intention.
That was never the intention. It was a joke.
It was a
Right.
joke.
Okay.
Clearly,
Very creative kid.
anybody with a brain would understand that that's just
Right.
a teenager having a whole heck of a lot of fun.
Okay. So anyway, James, my James JJ, he saw it and it was like, whatever, it's so funny,
I'm
right?
not actually going to show up. Oh my
Right.
God.
So just totally ignores it. So then we get this email and I was like, oh, and so
Some of the Jameses show up and to fight.
no.
Oh.
2 of the Jameses maybe said something back, but again, in jest. It
Right.
wasn't like
So I'll meet you behind the
right,
playground.
right, totally in jest.
3 o'clock.
Right.
All right.
Bring it.
Exactly.
Bring
It was
it.
stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? But it was all joke. So anyway, the next day JJ goes to school and the principal calls them all in and they all get in trouble
What?
for this fight email. And
Had nothing to do with them
right.
other than being named James.
Right. So my James, because he's old and he has no problem talking to adults. Like a lot of kids are just like, whoa. He has no problem talking
for
to
him.
adults. And he goes, he actually said, "Are you serious?"
Good
And
for
she's
him.
like, "Yes, I am serious." Because there was that school event tonight that I was at and they
Uh-huh.
weren't going to be allowed to go
Are you
because they
kidding
got in
me?
trouble for this so-called fight. And he said, respectfully, clearly, this is a joke. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he said, you don't really think we'd all go outside and fight
to be James.
like can you can't seriously think that. And she's like, well, I think that, kids will fight. Kids do all kinds of crazy stuff. This is very serious. This is about violence. You can't talk.
But it was somebody sent him an email.
And that's what he said. He said, well, excuse me, but I just received this email.
Right.
I didn't respond. I didn't why am I? He's like, good. And I was like, good for you, buddy.
Yeah.
He said, I don't understand why I'm in trouble.
Right. Have you, Carlotta sent you an email and she didn't get in trouble. You didn't get in trouble.
Right.
Yeah. Right. That's ridiculous.
And he's like, and he said he was the only one that spoke up. Like all the other kids were just sort of like,
you're nervous.
But
talking to the principal.
He's like, I don't understand why am I getting in trouble? That I didn't start the email. I didn't respond to the email.
His only sin was being named James.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And she's like, well, I can't be certain that this was a joke. And JJ goes, how about you call in the kid that wrote it
the email
and ask him?
Right. Why?
Well, and she's like, well, I was going to get to him next. And he was like, no, just
get to him first.
Bring him in now. And so they brought the kid in and he's like, yeah, it was a joke. And she's like, well, you can't joke about this kind of stuff. So I get it. I'm not disparaging the principal really, because it's got to be very hard being a vice principal.
It's got to be very hard.
I am.
Well, that is ridiculous.
It's a little over the top, but I understand.
Shame on you.
I understand that being a vice principal of a middle school
is a hard job.
Yeah, and they have to.
But come on.
Yeah.
Seriously? You're going to fight for the name.
I know it's so ridiculous that it's like.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
How can you not see the humor in that?
I thought when he read me the email, I was crying laughing.
It's
I go,
hilarious.
I said, that's genius.
Yes,
like,
it
that
is.
kid's funny.
And creative and random.
I'm like, that's a funny kid.
Oh, yeah. I would have loved to have gotten that email.
So, but anyway, it's all cleared up. And James also got 3 of the other Jameses off the hook because they also did not respond.
Did the Jameses that
just
did respond
because
get in trouble?
The other ones responded because they liked the joke.
Because they thought it was funny.
Wanted to partake in the joke.
I think they still got in trouble.
Well, that's kind of crappy.
Kind of. I'd be pissed.
Very crappy, yeah.
I'd be as a parent, I'd be pissed.
I can't say that this all happened today, so I can't say that they won't be out of trouble tomorrow, or perhaps they got out of trouble today as well.
Yeah, I hope that was very mild.
I'd be jacked. I'd be like, son, you send 5 more of those emails.
Right, yeah. Send them to.
See, I thought it was funny that I was like, am I the only one that thinks this is funny?
No, that's great. That's absolutely wonderful. That's wonderful.
And then she said something about it being like racial, which it is, but it's not in a bad, like, you have to be able to joke about things. Like everything isn't a heart attack, right? You know what I mean?
And
like, that's a funny joke.
It's silly.
It's silly.
It's very silly.
It's not disparaging. It's not putting anybody down. It's not making anybody feel bad. No. It was funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, I agree.
It's hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, that was. So I thought.
Well, I'm glad that JJ didn't.
I don't know. I have no concept of time because I didn't have a phone for 3 days.
Right. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll mess with your sense of time.
Yeah. So I thought I told you guys that.
Think of all the things you must have gotten done without scrolling and.
You'd think.
Playing games.
No.
I've been playing word games, like word puzzles on my phone is kind of my new.
Netcook still works. So.
Yeah, I was saying my TV was
right.
fine.
Oh, that's right.
And I could listen to podcasts. As long as I had Wi-Fi, I could listen. I couldn't walk the dogs and listen to podcasts because I needed Wi-Fi. Yeah. Right. I needed Wi-Fi. As long as I was in the house, I could listen to my podcast and watch TV. It was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Woo. All right. Well,
we
are not going to see each other next week.
I know. No. I'll miss you all.
Travel safe, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I will be in Budapest.
Ooh.
Next Thursday.
Nice.
Yeah.
So.
All right. And
I'll eat some goulash. I could bring should I bring my
Your
snack
snack
tips?
Actives.
What are they? What will cousin Ava and Granny think if I show up with my snack tips?
you see, if we had thought ahead, I would have
This is an
bought you.
American custom.
I was just gonna say.
I would have bought
I'm
you
not sure.
an
Maybe,
extra
yeah.
pack to take and leave.
I was looking for a nice hostess gift.
You could have gotten them snack tips.
I should have. I think we're gonna have to get him something in Milan, like some, I don't know.
I would die if you because a lot of the I'm imagining a lot of saucy foods, like a lot of right, which is
Goulash.
not well done with snack tips. Like
Right.
So,
Yeah. I'm thinking stew and
yeah.
yeah.
So it's probably not
Pickled things.
the best utensil, but
Yeah.
it would be a funny one. See, it's like it would be a
Right.
funny
It's
hostess
either
joke.
it's kind of it's either the funniest thing ever, or like we're so offended.
You can never come back.
You can never come back. You're banned
You
from.
cannot return
Hungary.
to Budapest.
Yes.
Fair.
All right. I'll give you the full report.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Well, thank you all for joining us for the latest episode of the Setlist of Life. Good night.
Good night.